Hey guys, so today I am filming a video on how I record and edit my covers. So many of you have been asking me every week for years how I film my covers, what equipment do I use, how I make it sound the way that I make it sound, and where I get all my stuff from, I guess. We're gonna start with how I started, only really quickly. I started doing covers on my bathroom floor in my mum and dad's house. And because I didn't have any equipment or anything, I just used to do it after I got home from work because people used to ask me to do it so they could listen to me singing rather than having to come to like a bar or a pub or a wedding. They could see me on their phones, I guess. They haven't got to wait like till the weekend to come and watch me, which I was very flattered about and couldn't believe it. So I just started putting videos out for people to listen to, and I used to put an instrumental on my laptop on the floor with the words on it, and then just film myself on my iPhone or Android or whatever I had at the time, or on my iPad, and I just used to record it raw, and people loved it because they love to hear your natural voice without any vocal effects on. So I would say, don't feel like you have to invest hundreds and hundreds of pounds just to get the equipment that everybody else seems to have, because really people love it raw, original to start with. And then obviously I invested in equipment because my views were going up. It was turning into sort of like a proper, not a job because I loved it, so it didn't feel like a job, but I didn't expect it to ever happen. And I was seeing other people progressing, and I thought, right, now it's time for me to make that step up and get a microphone and get the right lighting and the camera. But to begin with, I must have gone like a couple of years just doing it with my iPhone and a microphone that plugs in. So don't feel stressed, don't feel like you haven't got the money to buy the equipment to do YouTube if that's what you want to do, because your iPhone, Android, whatever you've got is absolutely fine. Don't stress. So to begin with, let's talk about the microphone, which everybody always asks me what it is. This is an Editor's Keys SL600 microphone. This is £200, I believe, but on their website they have lots of different bundles where you get this with the stand that it comes on and the shock mount, which is this, that holds it. A vocal booth, which is brilliant if you're recording professional vocals from home, and it comes with a pop shield, so when you go p or s, it stops it from picking those sounds up. I don't use that or the vocal booth personally in my YouTube covers because I feel like it ruins the visual, but if I was to record vocals without for somebody, I would definitely be using the pop shield and the vocal booth. But this is brilliant. It's got two knobs on here. There's the gain, which I have like right in the middle, bang in the middle, and then headphones, which I don't plug my headphones into here, so I just have that right on 0. This little metal knob is on the straight line, and this one is on 0, so that's how your settings should be for people that are buying this, because I know sometimes it's easy just to mess around with the settings, but it will actually affect your sound. Oh, nice little tractor outside. He hasn't even got his lights on. How can he see where he's going? Don't crash into my house, please. So that's that. Brilliant. Blue light comes on when you're recording. It's not actually plugged in right now. But yeah, absolutely love this. Had it for years. Tried lots of different microphones and always found myself coming back to this one. It's crisp, it's clear. You can get every sound that you want. Just waiting for the tractor to pass. That's what you get for living in the country. So this is brilliant because it's a USB, so it plugs straight into your laptop or computer without the need for a, can't remember what it's called, but one of those boxes. I've actually got one, but I don't use it because this just goes straight in. So there's no need to faff around with anything else. This just goes straight in. Then I have headphones, which I have Shure in-ear monitors that are in here. And these are brilliant, but I wouldn't say they're necessary. You can actually get Editor's Keys headphones, which are brilliant for mixing with. So when you're messing around with your vocals and listening to what you've just recorded, I find they are amazing. They're really beefy, loud, but to record, because they're quite big, I find when I'm filming, I would rather use small ones. Now I bought those so I could use them at gigs, so I get double use out of them. But I would say to start with, use your Apple headphones. Use whatever headphones you have that plug in, because if you use wireless Bluetooth ones, you'll have a lot of delay on them. So that's headphones. Then I use a Selfie ring light, which I got from Amazon. I think it's 80 quid. brilliant. It's dimmable so you can get the lighting right. My house is pretty dark, and sometimes I film, well, most of the time I film later on in the afternoon, so I find that that is a godsend because otherwise my camera would just be pitch black. I do have lights, but they're very dark. Then I have a tripod, which I think is from Amazon. You could probably get one for 15 quid, that's extendable, so you want to make it as tall and short as possible, so for different filming locations you can set it to how you want. Then I have my camera, which I will put a picture of here, and then I'm going to link everything in the description below that I am talking about. My camera is a Sony A5100. I think it's £340 at the moment, but I've paid about 450 quid for it, I think, so it's a bargain at the moment. It has a flip screen so you can see what you're recording, which is brilliant, and I find that it's a dream. Apart from if you're filming consistently over 15 minutes, it tends to overheat and then you have to give it 5 minutes to cool down. That is seriously irritating, but apparently it is what it is. I sent it away, nothing they can do. It's just part of it. Hopefully you can't see these random eyelashes just on my desk, that is gross. So we're gonna crack on. I'm gonna teach you now how, or show you, not teach you, I'm gonna show you how I film and how I edit in GarageBand. I bought Logic for £200 or whatever it is, and for what I need it for, GarageBand does exactly the same thing, so please save your money and don't buy Logic unless you're looking into going into producing or you play instruments, stuff like that. I guess then it's great, but for me, I'm a basic woman and I'm not a producer, even though I wish I was, and I love watching what they do when I'm in the studio writing with them. That's how I've learned how to do all of this, but now you can see how I do it. I'm going to show you the settings that I use to get the microphone sounding crisp, and yeah, just do voiceovers basically, and then I'll show you the audio and the video put together at the end and how I do all of that, and hopefully it makes sense. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, because I normally do covers and I occasionally do the odd video with my dog or my boyfriend or whatever. So come along with me on my journey. There is new music coming out very soon, so keep your eyes peeled. I haven't died, it's just been a lot going on. And yeah, let's get into it. Make sure you comment below what other videos you want to see. I'm dyeing my hair pink tomorrow myself, so that'll be an interesting one. Might film that, might put it up, let me know. Okay, see you in a minute. So I click on GarageBand and open an empty project, and this will pop up where it says my instrument is connected with editor's keys. So that's perfect. Needs to be on the microphone image. Then it comes up with a blank canvas. So you can see here that as I'm talking, it's picking up my voice. And these are the settings that I have. So I make sure that my recording level is round about here, because if that's up too high, then it will distort. Then I make sure that I have a bit of reverb on there. These are the general levels that I use just to record, and then when I listen back to it afterwards, I will sometimes adjust these. The compressor just makes it a little bit louder for me. And then you have to make sure that this little orange symbol is clicked on so that you can hear yourself through your headphones. If you can't hear yourself through your headphones, then you need to click on Preferences and make sure your input device is the editor's keys microphone and that your output device is on System Settings. Once you've done that, you then need to get your instrumental that you've downloaded or managed to get somewhere. Luckily, I work with Sing to Piano quite a lot, so he lets me download his files, but you can get these from downloadable links on YouTube in the descriptions or on iTunes, I believe. I've just downloaded a royalty-free instrumental here just to write a quick verse to. This literally took me like 5 minutes to do, so don't judge me. I often turn down the main volume for the instrumental just because it's pretty loud in my headphones, and then when I edit it afterwards I can always move that back up so that it's at a normal level. It just helps me hear myself in my headphones. So once I've done that, I push record and make sure the metronome is off, otherwise that's clicking out of time in my ear. And I've fast forwarded this bit so it doesn't get boring for you, because obviously you can't hear it because I can't screen record and audio record at the same time, unfortunately. But I just do many different takes of this until I feel I've got the right one. So I did a fair few takes there, did 6 takes, And then on the 7th one I felt like that one was the right one. After I've got the audio that I feel is okay and the video, I will then get the video onto my computer and I will edit the audio until I'm happy, and then I'll match them both up in iMovie, which I will screen record, so I'll show you that too in just a second. So I open up the Untitled folder, which is my camera files. Then I have to open the QuickTime player and this will pop up. I then scroll all the way to the bottom through my thousands of videos to find the one where I recorded the cover. I double check that this is the correct one, which is telling Reggie off at the end, and then I export it on the highest resolution and then just save it as something so I recognise that. Then I head back to GarageBand and I just go through. I actually took the headphones out, so I just listened out loud in the room to what it sounded like, and basically went through the different takes to hear if any other bits were better than others. So sometimes if there's like a note slightly out of tune, I'll just pinch one from a different take. So I know it's cheating a little bit, but everyone does it. So I listen all the way through just to see how it sounds, and then I'll go back through and then pick out bits that I don't like, and then I might swap it in with other bits. Sometimes I'm really lucky and I'll get a whole take where I think it's okay, but most of the time there'll be 1 or 2 bits where I have to swap it in with another bit. That's why people ask me if I'm miming sometimes, because I've swapped in another bit. Don't tell anyone. So now one of the final things I do is click on plugins and then go on channel EQ. And then when you click down on the drop down on manual and voice, you have lots of different options. So if you're a male or female, or even if you're doing like just voiceovers for books or whatever, audiobooks, you can click on bright vocal or things like that. I usually use female vocal number 1 or female vocal number 2 or pop vocal. They're my favourites. But you just know when you click them and you listen to them over the top of the vocals which one will be best for you. And obviously if you're a male, you'd use the male ones. Or you could use the female, whatever you fancy. So I chop off the beginning and the ends. I use mostly my keyboard for doing all of this. There are different commands which you can Google. So I press like Command and D or Command and T and it will cut bits, and then I just use backspace to delete certain parts. But there's loads of different shortcuts, but obviously you have to learn them. And it does come up if you click at the top anyway, on the track or edit, then it has the little symbol of what you can press, and then you just get to know it over time. So I'm now exporting the MP3 file so that I can drop that into iMovie, which I'm now heading over to. And I find my video file and drag that in and drop it. Expand it so I can see it in detail of where I need to crop it to. Find the bit where I want to put the audio over, and then drag the audio underneath, and then I try and figure out, obviously with the sound on, I can sometimes tell by the wave format of the MP3 and obviously the wave format in the video where it matches up, but sometimes I have to play it to get to know where it is. I just trim the beginning off and the end off so that it's clean and that it starts with no messing around at the beginning or the end. And once I've found where it lines up exactly, I turn the audio off of the video so that all you can hear is the audio that's been recorded through the microphone. And put a little fade out at the end, which I've dragged in there. And it's as simple as that. Export it.
We just can't be friends. Say those words again. 'Cause when you tell me how you feel, something in me starts to heal. 'Cause when you say you love me too, I fall for you. It's always been you. It's always been